Hey guys, what's up? It's Cameron here, and I am bringing you another video that sounds like I recorded myself with my calculator. So today is a kind of another special video. I did a recreation of Starship, Elon Musk's Starship, or SpaceX's Starship, which is a fully reusable Starship. It's a two-stage rocket. It's supposedly going to be capable of delivering 100 payloads to, or 100 tons to low Earth orbit. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the number. And let me just preface this with this mission wanted to make me rip my eyeballs out of my head. Not only did I have to land 6 things just to get in orbit around the moon, I also had to dock multiple times to refuel. But you know, the rocket did turn out the way I wanted it to. It is fully reusable, even though I did fail every single landing in this video. You'll see that, but it is fully reusable. I was able to land it a couple of times before this video, so I can assure you that it is 100% fully reusable. But keep that in mind when you're watching the video, that I did botch every single landing of the second stage of the Starship part. For the booster part, the super heavy part, I was able to land every single booster near the KSP space center. So that was a cool thing. So here we go with the Starship rocket. We have just separated, and now we are going into an orbit, as you can see. Now I'm going to switch back to try to control my booster landing after we get into somewhat of an orbit. There we go. And then yeah, in comes the super heavy boost back burn, just like what you would see on a Falcon 9 rocket. SpaceX is expecting to do the same thing with the Starship Heavy. So here we go with our entry burn, landing legs deploy. Oh, and yes, I totally botched this landing too. But you know what? It was a successful landing. Everything is okay. Now we go back into our Starship that's up there in orbit. Put it into a nice circular orbit for us to dock with at the future mission. So now we can show you the little solar array that would happen in the real Starship too. I'm not sure if I have it in the right area. I thought I saw it in the back. I'm not sure. You know, it's a fully stock recreation, so I'd say for stock it's pretty good. So now here we go with the second Starship launch. This is actually the second variant, the fuel version. So this does not carry any crew, just fuel as its payload. And so now, here we go, ascending again. I sped this up for you guys because you don't need to see this happen 3 times in a row at real-time speed. You would probably want to tear your eyeballs out too. I mean, shit, even just trying to edit the video, it was like, you know, kind of daunting because I didn't know which one was which. So here we go with the second separation of the Starship. That's the fuel variant, getting ready to meet up with our crewed version up in orbit. And we will switch back to our booster, which is getting ready to land too. So you didn't need to see the boost back burn. You already saw that with the last landing. This one is a little bit cleaner of a landing, I will say, but yeah, it's still not the cleanest. I do kind of a little bit of a hover there at the last minute. You can kind of see it right right there. Yep. There's that hover. Yep. So not the cleanest of landing, but again, yes, it was successful. And then we'll move on to the docking, which is quite a tedious task because I wanted to keep it as realistic as possible. So I went butt to butt, just like what the real Starship would do. But as you can see, it kind of causes problems a little bit with trying to align them because I'm using a Clampetron Junior port to try to dock with these two big masses. So it gets the job done, but it's kind of hard. So now I'm refueling. You don't need to see all that in real time either. That's just, you know, a process that needs to be done. And then we will undock and we'll get ready to send our fuel variant back to Earth to refuel and hopefully get stacked on top of the Super Heavy again, and then come meet up once again in orbit to refuel. So we'll watch this ascent. It's a kind of a very bad ascent. You know, it's funny because when I practiced flying this rocket, I was able to re-enter it almost very realistically. It looked like the simulations that SpaceX provided when they were basically showing how the Starship worked and how it re-entered and landed. And I was able to kind of recreate it, but then of course, as soon as I start recording, everything just goes awry, and you know, I can't even land it close to the space center there, and that unfortunately is what happens to every single one of my starships in this video. I just, and there we go, tumbling into the ocean out of fuel, and yes, it dissolved instantly into the water. So unfortunately that does happen pretty much with all my other starships in this video, except for the crew variant. The crew variant does make it back safely. They just have a kind of a big bang when they land. You'll see it at the end. So stay tuned. So this is the third launch. This is at this time I was getting ready to be done with the mission. I was planning on going to the moon with that crewed starship and landing on the moon, but you know, after filling it up the second time and not getting a whole lot of extra Delta V, I was just like, you know what, we'll just orbit the moon, and we'll just orbit the moon and call it good. That's what the first starship is going to do anyway. In the beginning, it's going to orbit with a crew, just to test out that it can re-enter at hypersonic speeds, or very, very fast speeds, because of course the starship is planning on going to Mars, and you know, a re-entry from Mars is going to be very, very, very hot. So that is something that's going to be needed to be tested. So that's kind of what I just did in this video, just to make it easier on myself, and maybe easy for you guys, so you don't have to sit through such a long video. But Cameron, if you're building rockets, how can you be so goddamn lazy? Well, you know what? How about you do my differential equations homework, okay? When you do my differential equations homework and ensure that I'll get an A, then I will for sure do my very best to bring you the highest quality of missions and videos. But until that time, that cannot happen. And so, as you can see now, this is the second entry of the starship. I did lose the nose cone. I don't know how that happened. The fairing must have been staged weird, but yep. And then, as you can see, instant fail times 100. Yeah, there's no recovering that one. But anyway, I said screw it. You know what? Let's continue onward. The crude variant is still intact. It's still in orbit. So let's go visit the moon, and that is exactly what we're doing. You can see me lining up my ship now, getting ready to burn my maneuver. Yep, there we go. Burn all that fuel. Get a nice close encounter with the moon, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Really easy. Orbit the moon a couple of times so the artists aboard can, you know, do their art things. You know, I don't know, sculptures in 0G, maybe paintings in 0G, photography, of course. You know, I'm not sure, but you know, they paid for it, so they get what they want. So then now we're heading back to the Earth, so to try to stick a landing for the third time. As you can see, or as you will see, it works. It works. You know, the goal of the mission is to bring people back, right? Well, it successfully did that. It successfully brought people back. Just not the ship in one piece. Unfortunately, I didn't get even close to the space center this time either. I was too high. I was trying to adjust here. You can see that, trying to adjust my trajectories, but I just way overshot. There's the space center below me right now, and yep, yeah, way overshot it. But hey, look, the re-entry profile looks pretty good. I'm being able to keep the attitude of the rocket the way I want it. There we go. I was able to get it to a retrograde burning position. Everything looks great. I thought this was going to be a perfect landing. Sticky keys got me for hitting that shift button too many times, but the landing legs deployed. We're coming in for a nice smooth landing. Everything just looks beautiful, and then yep. Okay. Oh no. Oh. And hey, you know what? That's a landing. That's a landing. So right about here is when I started losing my mind. As you can see from the camera, the violent camera shaking, that's what happened. So yeah, we're here now at the Space Center. As you can see, all of our boosters are still upright and landed. We did successfully do that part of the mission. So I guess I'm gonna call it quits for today. So if you enjoyed this episode of Cameron Builds Rockets, I guess, please drop a like. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, feel free to reach out and with your suggestions, because I really want to hear what you guys have to say. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks, guys.